The alarm blared at 2 a.m., jolting Alex from a restless sleep, his phone screen flashing with an urgent alert from the company's security system. Someone had breached his workstation. Heart pounding, he threw on clothes and raced to the sleek San Francisco tech headquarters of Innovatech, only to find his office ransacked, files scattered, and his groundbreaking AI prototype vanished from the servers. As the police arrived, Alex stared at the empty desk, realizing this wasn't random theft. It was an inside job, and the fingerprints led straight to the team he'd trusted with his life. Alex Thompson had always been the outlier at Innovatech, the only openly gay engineer in a sea of straight, ambitious tech bros who masked their unease with forced smiles and backslapping camaraderie. At 28, with a sharp mind honed at MIT and a quiet determination forged from years of navigating prejudice, he'd poured his soul into developing SysGuard, an AI system designed to detect and prevent corporate espionage in real time. It wasn't just code. It was his armor against a world that had tried to break him since childhood. Growing up in a conservative suburb of Dallas, Texas, Alex's family had been the epitome of Southern Baptist values. His father, a stern oil executive, preached discipline and tradition, while his mother organized church bake sales and prayed for her son's salvation. Coming out at 17 had been like dropping a bomb. His father disowned him on the spot, shouting that no son of his would disgrace the family name. His mother wept, begging him to seek therapy, but Alex fled to California, vowing to build a life where his identity didn't define his worth. Now, years later, Innovatech felt like a fragile sanctuary, where his talents shone brighter than his personal life. But the cracks had started showing months ago. During team meetings, subtle jabs flew, comments about diversity hires, whispered behind hands, or eye rolls when Alex mentioned attending Pride events. His boss, Harlan Reed, a silver-haired veteran with a penchant for golf and old-school machismo, praised Alex's work publicly but undermined him in private, assigning credit for minor innovations to others. Alex ignored it, focusing on SysGuard, which promised to revolutionize data security. He'd confided in a few colleagues, including Mark Ellis, the charming lead developer who'd joined 6 months earlier. Mark was everything Alex wasn't: confident, outgoing, with a disarming smile that lit up rooms. At 30, he hailed from a liberal New York family, but he kept his own sexuality under wraps at work, fearing it might stall his career. Their connection sparked during late-night coding sessions, evolving from professional respect to stolen glances and hushed conversations. One evening, after a grueling deadline, Mark confessed over coffee, "I've never met someone like you, Alex. You fight for what you believe in, no matter the cost." That night, under the glow of city lights, they shared their first kiss, a tentative promise in a world full of uncertainties. As the police dusted for prints that morning, Alex's mind raced. Who would steal SysGuard? It was unfinished, valuable only to someone who understood its potential. Harlan arrived, feigning shock, clapping Alex on the back. "We'll get to the bottom of this, son. Your work is too important." But Alex noticed the flicker in Harlan's eyes, a hint of satisfaction that didn't sit right. Calling Mark, his voice trembled. "They took it, everything I've built." Mark rushed over, pulling Alex into a hug away from prying eyes. "We'll fix this," he whispered. Together. The investigation dragged on, with IT forensics revealing the breach came from an internal IP address. Suspicion fell on a junior engineer, but Alex knew better. It was too clean, too professional. Meanwhile, family pressures mounted. His sister, Emily, the only relative who still spoke to him, called from Texas. "Dad's been asking about you," she said softly. "He's not well, Alex. Maybe it's time to come home." But home meant facing the ghosts of rejection. And with SysGuard gone, Alex felt exposed, his professional armor stripped away. Days turned into weeks, and Alex threw himself into recreating the code from memory, working tirelessly in his small apartment overlooking the bay. Mark became his anchor, sneaking over after hours, their relationship deepening amid the chaos. "You're not alone in this," Mark assured him one night, as they lay entangled on the couch. But Alex couldn't shake the doubt. Why hadn't Mark been more alarmed? And when a prototype similar to SysGuard appeared in a rival company's patent filing, The betrayal hit like a gut punch. It was Innovateka's doing, Harlan's signature all over it. Confronting Harlan in his corner office, Alex's voice shook with rage. You stole my work. Why? Because I'm the diversity guy who doesn't fit your mold. Harlan leaned back, smirking. Business is business, Alex. Your ideas were company property. And frankly, your lifestyle distractions made you unreliable. The words stung, echoing his father's disdain. Storming out, Alex realized the theft wasn't just about code, it was about erasing him. That night, Mark confessed a partial truth. He'd shared some details with Harlan under pressure, thinking it would protect Alex. I didn't know he'd twist it, Mark pleaded. Alex recoiled, the trust fracturing. You sold me out to save yourself. The argument escalated, voices rising in the dim apartment, Mark's apologies drowning in Alex's accusations. As Mark left, slamming the door, Alex sank to the floor, the weight of isolation crushing him. How much more could he sacrifice for authenticity in a world that demanded conformity? The days following the confrontation blurred into a haze of sleepless nights and frantic coding sessions. Alex barricaded himself in his apartment, piecing together fragments of Sysguard from backups he'd hidden on a personal drive. The system wasn't just an algorithm. It was his rebellion against invisibility, a tool to expose hidden threats much like the prejudices that lurked in boardrooms and family dinners. But with Mark's betrayal lingering like a fresh wound, Alex questioned every alliance he'd formed. Mark texted relentlessly, "Please, let's talk. I messed up, but I love you." Love, the word hung heavy, untested in the fires of real conflict. Alex ignored the messages, channeling his hurt into work. At Innovatech, the atmosphere thickened with whispers. Colleagues avoided his gaze, treating him like a pariah. Harlan, emboldened, assigned him menial tasks, a clear demotion disguised as restructuring. During a staff meeting, when Alex challenged the new project suspiciously mirroring his AI, Harlan shut him down. Focus on your assignments, Thompson. Innovation requires team players, not lone wolves. The pressure from home intensified. Emily flew to San Francisco unannounced, showing up at his door with a suitcase and worried eyes. Dad's had a heart scare, she said, hugging him tightly. He's asking for you, Alex. Not to fight, but to reconcile. Alex's chest tightened. His father, the unyielding patriarch, vulnerable, stirred a mix of resentment and longing. Over dinner at a quiet cafe, Emily probed gently. You've built something amazing here, but is it worth losing family over? Alex stared at his plate. They lost me first, Em, when they couldn't accept who I am. That night, as Emily slept on the couch, Alex scrolled through old photos, family barbecues, his father's proud smile at his graduation. The memories clashed with the present, where his identity was a liability. Mark showed up the next morning, flowers in hand, begging for forgiveness. Harlan threatened my job if I didn't share the specs, he admitted, tears in his eyes. I was scared. I've hidden who I am for so long, pretending to fit in. Alex softened, seeing the mirror of his own fears in Mark's confession. They talked for hours, unraveling the threads of deception, and by evening, they reconciled in a tentative embrace, vowing transparency. But reconciliation came at a cost. As they grew closer, the office rumor mill churned. An anonymous email circulated, outing Mark and accusing them of favoritism. Harlan called them in separately, his tone laced with faux concern. Personal relationships can complicate things. We value diversity, but professionalism first. The hypocrisy burned. Harlan's own affairs were office legend. Alex saw it as a ploy to isolate them further, pushing Mark toward a breaking point. Meanwhile, Alex uncovered digital trails linking the theft to Harlan's inner circle. Using a makeshift version of Sysguard, he traced emails showing the code had been sold to a competitor for a hefty sum, with Harlan pocketing a cut. The discovery electrified him. This wasn't just personal, it was criminal, but exposing it meant risking everything. His job, his relationship, his fragile family ties. Emily, sensing his turmoil, urged caution. Dad wants to talk. Come home for a weekend. It might give you clarity. Reluctantly, Alex agreed, booking a flight to Dallas. Mark offered to come, but Alex declined. This is my battle. The plane ride was a torrent of emotions. Dread mixed with hope. Landing in the humid Texas air, he drove to the family ranch, heart racing. His father, frilier than remembered, greeted him at the door. Son, he said gruffly, extending a hand. They sat in the living room, the silence heavy. I've been thinking, his father began, about what I said back then. It was wrong. But traditions die hard. Alex's eyes welled. It wasn't an apology, but a crack in the armor. They talked late into the night, his mother hovering, sharing stories of his childhood. For the first time, Alex opened up about his life in San Francisco, omitting Mark for now. The visit unearthed buried pains. His father admitted the heart scare had forced reflection. I don't understand your choices, but you're my blood. Yet, when Alex mentioned the theft at work, his father nodded knowingly. Fight for what's yours. Don't let them define you. Returning to California, Alex felt fortified, but the warmth faded as reality crashed back. Mark had been demoted in his absence. Harlan's retaliation swift. He knows about us, Mark said bitterly over the phone. He's making me pay. Alex's resolve hardened. The theft wasn't isolated. It was part of a systemic erasure of those who didn't conform. He began gathering evidence discreetly, enlisting a lawyer friend. But doubts crept in. Was exposing Harlan worth the fallout? Mark, torn between loyalty and fear, wavered. What if we just leave? Start over somewhere else? The tension peaked at a company gala, where Harlan unveiled the new AI to investors, claiming it as his brainchild. Alex watched from the shadows, fury boiling. Mark, by his side, squeezed his hand. We can't let this stand. In that moment, Alex decided the fight was on, no matter the price. The gala's aftermath was a whirlwind of calculated moves and simmering rage. Alex returned to his apartment that night, laptop open, diving deeper into the digital forensics. Using remnants of Sysguard, he hacked into Innovateca's encrypted logs, not illegally, but through backdoors he'd built for testing. The evidence mounted: emails from Harlan to the competitor, wire transfers, even a memo dismissing Alex's contributions as marginal. It was damning, but sharing it meant crossing ethical lines he'd sworn to uphold. Mark, now fully committed, helped analyze the data. Their late nights blurred work and intimacy, strengthening their bond amid the storm. We're in this together, Mark said one evening, as they pored over spreadsheets. But the strain showed. Mark's family, unaware of his sexuality, called frequently, sensing his distress. Mom keeps asking why I'm so distant, he confided. Alex empathized, recalling his own coming-out battles. Tell them when you're ready, but don't let fear win. The moral quandary weighed heavy. Exposing Harlan could topple the company, costing jobs, including innocent colleagues. Alex grappled with the dilemma. Was revenge justice, or just another cycle of destruction? His father's words echoed, fight for what's yours. But at what cost? Sleepless, he wandered San Francisco's foggy streets, questioning his path. Pressure from society amplified the internal conflict. A local tech blog published an article on diversity facades in Silicon Valley, anonymously quoting Alex's experiences. Harlan retaliated by freezing his projects, isolating him further. Colleagues, fearing association, distanced themselves, leaving Alex in a professional void. Even Mark faced whispers. Sleeping your way up? The homophobia, once subtle, now overt, tested their resilience. Emily called, her voice urgent. Dad's condition worsened. He wants you here. Torn, Alex flew back to Dallas, Mark insisting on accompanying this time. I won't let you face this alone. The decision marked a shift, their relationship no longer hidden. At the airport, Mark held his hand openly, a small act of defiance. In Texas, the reunion was tense. His father, bedridden, looked at Mark with narrowed eyes. Who's this? Alex took a breath. Dad, this is Mark, my partner. Silence stretched. Then his father nodded slowly. Sit down, boys. The conversation unfolded haltingly. His father admitted regrets, influenced by church doctrines he'd clung to. I was wrong to push you away. His mother, teary, hugged them both. It was progress, but fragile, shadowed by years of hurt. Back in San Francisco, invigorated by the family thaw, Alex pressed forward. He met with a whistleblower attorney, laying out the evidence. This could be big, the lawyer said. But you'll be painted as the disgruntled employee, the gay one seeking attention. The words stung, highlighting societal biases. Mark, supportive yet anxious, questioned, is it worth the scrutiny? Our lives exposed. The turning point came during a heated team meeting. Harlan announced promotions, bypassing Alex and Mark. Unable to contain himself, Alex stood. How can you promote thieves? That AI is mine, you stole it. Gasps rippled through the room. Harlan's face reddened. Baseless accusations. Security, escort him out. As guards approached, Mark rose in solidarity. He's right. I saw the emails. Chaos erupted, colleagues murmuring, some nodding in agreement. Escorted from the building, Alex felt a mix of triumph and terror. Media caught wind, headlines blaring. Gay engineer accuses tech giant of theft and discrimination. The story went viral, drawing support from LGBTQ+ advocates but backlash from conservative circles. His phone buzzed with threats, echoing his father's old community. Mark's family reacted poorly. His father disowned him via email, calling it a phase. Devastated, Mark leaned on Alex. I gave up everything for this, for us. The cost was mounting, their relationship strained by external forces. Alex's sister warned, Dad's proud of you standing up, but worried about the danger. As lawsuits loomed, Alex discovered a deeper layer. Harlan had targeted him specifically, viewing his openness as a distraction. Emails revealed derogatory comments, fueling a discrimination suit. The moral lines blurred. Was Harlan's bigotry the root or greed? Alex pondered the choices. Forgive and move on, or fight and risk all. In a quiet moment, Mark proposed, let's build our own company. Use Sysguard as the foundation. The idea sparked hope, but required confronting the past. Alex agreed, but first they needed closure. Scheduling a press conference, Alex prepared to lay bare the truth, knowing it would shatter illusions and force reckonings. The night before, doubts assailed him. Had he pushed too far? The damage to relationships, careers, was it justified? Mark held him. We choose our path. No regrets. As dawn broke, Alex steeled himself for the battle ahead, the weight of decisions pressing down. The press conference unfolded in a packed San Francisco hotel ballroom, cameras flashing like lightning in a storm. Alex stood at the podium, Mark by his side, his voice steady despite the knots in his stomach. Today, I expose not just theft, but a culture of erasure. He began, detailing the evidence with precision. The room buzzed as documents projected on screens. Emails, transfers, memos laced with bias. Harlan, watching from afar, issued denials, but the tide turned swiftly. Innovateca's stock plummeted, investors fleeing amid the scandal. Colleagues came forward anonymously, corroborating Alex's claims, revealing a pattern of discrimination. The LGBTQ+ community rallied, hashtags trending, justice for Alex. But victory tasted bitter. Layoffs hit, innocent employees suffering. Alex questioned his actions. Had he become the destroyer he accused others of being? Mark bore the brunt at home. His family's rejection deepened, his mother calling in tears. How could you choose this life? Mark hung up, shattered, turning to Alex for solace. I thought coming out would free me, he whispered. Their relationship, once a refuge, now a battlefield of shared traumas. Arguments flared. Mark blaming Alex for pushing the exposure, Alex retorting that silence equaled complicity. Family dynamics shifted dramatically. In Dallas, Alex's father defended him publicly in a local interview. "My son's brave. I was wrong before." The statement, viral, mended some wounds but invited scrutiny. Hate mail arrived at the ranch, forcing his parents into hiding. Emily mediated. "You've awakened us all, but at what price?" Alex flew down again, finding his father resolute. "Stand tall, son. Regrets are for the weak." Back in California, legal battles intensified. Harlan countersued for defamation, dragging Mark into depositions. Revelations emerged. Mark had indeed shared more than admitted, under duress from Harlan's threats of outing him. The confession rocked Alex. "You lied to me?" Mark sobbed. "I was protecting us." Betrayal cut deep, echoing past rejections. They separated temporarily, Mark crashing with a friend, both reeling from the fallout. Alone, Alex reflected on the moral maze. Sysguard, meant to protect, had become a weapon. He rebuilt it independently, incorporating lessons from the ordeal, features to detect bias in corporate communications. Investors approached, sensing opportunity, but Alex hesitated. Re-enter the toxic world, or forge a new path? Reconciliation with Mark came painfully. In a rain-soaked park, they met. "I can't lose you," Mark said, "but we need boundaries." Alex nodded, acknowledging his own flaws, pushing too hard, ignoring signals. They recommitted but scarred, vowing therapy to heal. The trial loomed, a circus of testimonies. Harlan took the stand, denying everything, painting Alex as unstable. Cross-examination exposed his lies, emails damning him. The jury deliberated, tension palpable. Alex's lawyer warned, "Win or lose, your life's changed." In the verdict's eve, Alex confronted Harlan privately in a mediated session. "Why me?" he asked. Harlan sneered. "You flaunted your differences. Business demands conformity." The admission fueled Alex's fire, but also pity, Harlan's world crumbling under his own prejudices. The jury ruled in Alex's favor. Theft proven, discrimination upheld. Innovatex settled for millions, Harlan fired in disgrace. Cheers erupted, but Alex felt hollow. Jobs lost, friendships severed, the human cost immense. Mark's family softened slightly, his sister reaching out, but rifts remained. Post-trial, Alex and Mark launched their startup Guard AI using Sysguard as core. Success came, but shadowed by memories. Alex's family visited San Francisco, his father awkward but trying. "Proud of you, boys." Progress, yet incomplete. As they built their future, Alex pondered the trade-offs. Had exposure liberated or destroyed? Relationships mended piecemeal, society inching forward. But the scars lingered, a reminder of battles fought. In quiet moments, Alex wondered if the ends justified the means, the personal toll a necessary sacrifice for change. With Guard AI thriving, Alex and Mark settled into a rhythm of cautious optimism. Their San Francisco loft a haven amid the chaos they'd unleashed. The startup attracted talent disillusioned by corporate giants, fostering an inclusive environment where identities were celebrated, not concealed. Yet, success amplified the echoes of past decisions. Lawsuits from displaced Innovatech employees, media scrutiny dissecting their relationship, and internal doubts that gnawed at night. Alex's family integration deepened gradually. His father, now retired, visited often, bonding over tech talks, though awkward silences arose on personal matters. "I've learned," he admitted during one dinner, clinking glasses with Mark. "Love's love." His mother sent care packages, including rainbow-themed cookies, a tentative olive branch. Emily, ever the bridge, confided, "You've changed us, Alex, but it hurt getting here." The healing was real, but laced with the price of years lost. Mark's side proved thornier. His parents remained distant, occasional calls laced with judgment. "We're praying for you," his father said once, before hanging up. Mark threw himself into work, masking pain with ambition. Their therapy sessions unearthed buried resentments. Alex's relentlessness, Mark's hesitance. "I followed you into the fire," Mark said tearfully, "and got burned." Alex acknowledged. I dragged you, thinking it was for us. They emerged stronger but vigilant, knowing trust rebuilt slowly. Societal backlash persisted. Conservative outlets branded Alex a disruptor, blaming him for economic fallout. Death threats arrived sporadically, forcing security measures. At a Pride event, Alex spoke. Visibility costs, but silence costs more. Applause thundered, yet he felt the isolation of being a symbol, not just a man. Professionally, Guard AI's SysGuard evolved, detecting not only espionage but algorithmic biases, a nod to their ordeals. Partnerships with advocacy groups amplified impact, but competitors, echoing Harlan, undermined them subtly. A sabotage attempt mirrored the original theft, testing Alex's resolve. We fight smarter now, he told Mark, implementing safeguards born from scars. Personal reckonings culminated in a quiet anniversary dinner. Over candlelight, Mark proposed, "Marry me, let's claim our future." Alex accepted, tears flowing, but the joy was tempered by reflections. "We've paid dearly for this," he said. Mark nodded. "And we'd pay again." As years blurred, the story's ripples widened. Innovatech reformed under new leadership, diversity initiatives blooming. Harlan faded into obscurity, a cautionary tale. Alex's journey inspired others. Young engineers coming out, families reconciling. Yet, in reflective moments, Alex questioned the narrative. Had his choices been heroic or hubristic? The theft sparked change, but at the expense of lives upended. Mark, thriving yet haunted, echoed the sentiment. We won, but what did we lose? The world moved on, but Alex carried the weight, a testament to the complexities of authenticity in a flawed society. In the end, was exposing the truth, despite the devastation it wrought on personal relationships and innocent bystanders, ultimately the right moral choice? With Guard AI thriving in its second year, Alex and Mark navigated the delicate balance of success and the lingering shadows of their past ordeals. The startup's offices in downtown San Francisco buzzed with diverse talent, engineers from all walks of life, united by a mission to create ethical tech. SysGuard, now a flagship product, had been refined to not only thwart cyber threats but also flag discriminatory patterns in data, a direct response to the biases they'd endured. Clients ranged from progressive nonprofits to cautious corporations, each deal a validation of their sacrifices. But the glamour masked undercurrents of strain. Alex often woke from nightmares of the theft, his mind replaying Harlan's smirks and the boardroom betrayals. Therapy helped, but the trauma lingered, manifesting in hypervigilance. I can't let my guard down, he confided to Mark during a late-night walk along the Embarcadero. Mark, ever the optimist, squeezed his hand. We've built something unbreakable. That's our victory. Family ties, once fractured, wove back together in uneven patterns. Alex's father, embracing retirement, made bi-monthly trips west, his gruff demeanor softening with each visit. They hiked in the Marin Headlands, discussing everything from code to life lessons. I was blind, his father admitted on one outing, staring at the Golden Gate Bridge. Church taught me one way, but you showed me another. His mother joined occasionally, baking pies and tentatively asking about their life together. Emily, now a frequent caller, shared updates. Dad's even defending gay rights at his club. You've sparked a revolution at home. Mark's family remained a sore point, their reconciliation halting. His sister mediated, arranging video calls where polite small talk masked deeper rifts. Give them time, she urged. But time didn't erase the pain of his father's cold emails or his mother's tearful pleas. Mark channeled the hurt into advocacy, speaking at conferences about corporate coming-outs. Hiding erodes the soul, he'd say, drawing from experience. Societal pressures evolved but persisted. While allies celebrated them as trailblazers, detractors lurked. Online trolls, conservative pundits decrying woke agendas ruining business. A documentary on the scandal aired, portraying Alex as a hero, but editing twisted nuances, amplifying divisions. Threats escalated briefly, prompting bodyguards for public events. At a tech summit, Alex addressed a packed hall. Change demands discomfort. We've paid the price. Now it's your turn to act. Internally, their relationship tested limits. Mark's promotion to COO brought power dynamics into play, sparking arguments over decisions. You're too cautious, Alex accused during one heated board meeting. Mark fired back. And you're reckless, like with Harlan. Therapy unearthed patterns. Alex's drive stemming from rejection, Mark's caution from fear. They worked through it, emerging with stronger communication, but the process was exhausting. A crisis hit when a competitor, led by a Harlan protege, launched a knockoff AI, suing Guard AI for patent infringement. The irony burned. Alex saw it as karma's twist. Diving into defense, they uncovered sabotage, hacked servers echoing the original theft. History repeating, Mark muttered. Alex activated Sysguard's full arsenal, tracing the breach to insiders tempted by bribes. Firing them was gut-wrenching. We built this on trust, Alex lamented. The lawsuit dragged, media frenzy reigniting old wounds. Alex's family rallied. His father even testified remotely, vouching for his integrity. Victory came, but Pyrrhic. Legal fees drained resources, forcing cutbacks. In the aftermath, Alex reflected on the cycle. We expose corruption, but it keeps coming back. Personal milestones offered respite. On their anniversary, Mark proposed atop Twin Peaks, the city sprawling below. Through hell and back, you're my constant. Alex said yes, the ring a symbol of endurance. Planning the wedding involved families tentatively. Alex's parents attending rehearsals, Mark sending a card. As Guard AI stabilized, Alex authored a book on ethical tech, dedicating it to those who pay the price for truth. Royalties funded scholarships for LGBTQ+ STEM students, a legacy beyond code. Yet, in solitary moments, Alex pondered the ethical gray areas. The original exposure had toppled Harlan, reformed Innovatech, but displaced workers struggled. Had his pursuit of justice been selfish? Mark, sensing his turmoil, reassured. We ignited change. Regret nothing. The world advanced incrementally. Policies shifted, attitudes softened. But Alex knew progress was fragile, built on personal ruins.